Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to have you back with us today and so excited for my guest today, Justin Anderson from the Granite Education Foundation. Thanks for joining me, Justin.
It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, I'm excited for this month. So for the month of November, we're focusing on what we can do as business owners, but also just as a community to give back. And so I really want to focus on some different options that we have and what we can do to help people out. And what a better place to turn to than somebody that's helping all of our kids out. So Justin, I would love to just kind of pick your brain on what Granite Education Foundation does, first of all, and then what are some things that we as a community can do to help out?
Sure. Well, Granite Education Foundation, we are the nonprofit arm, really, of the Granite School District. I grew up in the area, and I'm embarrassed to say that until several years ago, I had no idea how much need was right here in our own community. And so it was very eye-opening to me as I became more invested in the foundation and then started to consider making a career change to the foundation, just to see what so many folks are facing. So Granite Education Foundation exists primarily to reduce barriers to learning. These are barriers that primarily emerge from poverty. In addition to that, we like to try to enhance and support our teachers in any way that we can, all in ways that complement what the district does on a day-to-day basis, but are really beyond the district's academic-focused objectives. So Granite School District, just to give you a sense of the need, we're very large. We're the third largest district in Utah, behind Davis and Alpine, and we're 55th largest in the United States. So we have 87 schools and about 60,000 students, and we go from one mountain range in the east to the other mountain range in the west across the whole breadth of the valley. So we have
that's not a little overwhelming at all, right? Like you don't have a huge scope of service. So
what we see, not only do we just have tens of thousands of students, but 48% of our kids live in poverty. They're economically disadvantaged in some way. And, you know, I always grew up thinking that poverty was almost geographic, that you had more privileged areas, certainly. But what we're finding now, and it could be a function of a myriad of things, COVID and the economy and everything else. But the need is really in every community. So even if you happen to be in one of the more affluent neighborhoods, chances are that right now, one of your immediate neighbors needs some help. So 48% are economically disadvantaged. 41% of these kids are considered food insecure, meaning that they receive free or reduced lunch when they're at school. But then they go home at night, over weekends, holidays, summer vacation, and they may not know where their next meal is coming from. Yeah. So that's really where the foundation tries to step in. We have three main program areas. Our first is food assistance. So we operate in-school pantries, and we distribute food through a number of different models to get them into the hands of the kids who really need some added help. And we're not just helping the kids, we're also helping their siblings and their families. So it's a big, big job. Our second program area is what we call student aid. So that's all of our non-food support. So this is basic clothing, hygiene kits, shoes, certainly, vision, dental assistance, and then holiday assistance, which we call it Santa Sacks. It's kind of our version of Sub for Santa. Cool. And so we're just getting ready to kind of get back into that for the season. And then our third program area is teacher recognition and support. And so we try to do a number of different things. I could talk all day just about that. We love our teachers. We want to do everything we can to make their lives a little easier because they have a very big job. And honestly, if their capabilities increase, it just benefits the kids.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so grateful for my kids' teachers. I was a PTA president in Granite School District for several years when my kids were, you know, in the elementary phase and stuff. And being in the schools, I knew there was some of this going on, but the percentages are kind of shocking to me to hear how prevalent it is. And like like you said, you would think, I'm right here in the middle of Salt Lake City or wherever you are in Salt Lake, this is going on and it's so prevalent. So thank you
Yeah.
for all you're doing. So it's
Well, we
crazy.
always wish we could do more. I mean, it's kind of a cliche in the nonprofit world that we wish we could put ourselves out of business, but there's certainly no danger of that happening.
Yeah.
And the need continues to grow year over year.
Awesome. So yeah, so what is it that we can do as a community to help support the Granite Education Foundation?
Well, probably every charity you talk to is going to say first and foremost donations. And of course, we love financial contributions and gifts that can help us keep the lights on and keep the services flowing to the kids. In addition to donating, we have lots and lots of volunteer opportunities and service project ideas. We work with businesses and community members and groups, church groups, neighborhood groups, to put together their own service projects where they can assemble food kits, for instance, or hygiene kits. And they could do that at their location, or they could come to our donation and distribution center, which is a massive warehouse. And that's really where, you know, the lights come on and you see just how big the need is, that we have to have a space like this just to house the materials that are getting sent out to the schools every week.
Yeah, so in that instance, people bring their own supplies and come and assemble them, or though you already have the supplies there and people just come and put the stuff together.
We have the supplies there at the
Okay.
donation center. We will always take donations. Don't get me wrong. I never want to have anybody shy away from
Yeah.
that. But you can go to our website. That's granitekids.org. And I mean, if you'd like to make an online donation, that's a great place to do it. But there's also a little sign up genius link that will show you all of the current volunteer opportunities. And this can be a really great service idea for, a church group or a neighborhood to come in and do something right there on site. And we have those needs every single week.
Yeah.
If it's a larger group, then we can put together some sort of a custom project just on a case by case basis. And that
Cool.
might be out at your location, or we could have you come in and visit us, which we're thrilled to have you do.
That's awesome. So since it is prevalent on all of our minds right now, it's the season of giving. Talk a little bit more about your sub for Santa, your Santa sacks, so that people can have an idea of what those are.
Yeah, certainly. Our SantaSex program is, I mean, it's nothing short of amazing. I wish that we as a foundation could take even more credit for it, but it's entirely volunteer run. This was created by a couple of women who were former board members. And about 12 years ago, they identified this need and they thought, okay, this is a way that we can do something a little bit more hands-on to help some of these kids that need extra support. And they started developing the program. We have two levels. So there's elementary Santa Sacks, and there's, of course, elementary school, and secondary for some of the older kids in middle and high school. No child is turned away from the elementary Santa Sacks, but every child is identified and referred to us by the social workers in the schools. So as a foundation, we're not out there vetting requests or trying to evaluate need. We
You have
know
the
the need is
frontline
there.
workers
Right,
doing that for you. So
right. So our volunteers, like I said, totally volunteer run. They are very, very proud of the fact that they never turn away a child that's in need. And last year we sent out, I think it was 5,600 Santa Sacks.
wow,
And we know that the need is going to go up again this year. And so we're thinking it'll probably be around 6,000.
that's impressive.
But
Well,
it's really cool.
Well, it's amazing to know what's going on behind the scenes. This is not exclusive to Granite School District. That each school district has something probably similar going on. And we're so grateful for all you're doing, and you're watching out for our kids and watching out for our community and giving back so much and so freely. So thank you for that. And is there anything else you want to share before we run out of time here?
Not at all. Just an open invitation to, of course, visit our website, granitekids.org, or to call in. I mean, you can talk to myself, our director, anybody else here at the office. We are a very small staff, but we're very anxious to help make connections within the community.
Awesome.
So if you're at all interested, we'd love to answer questions or figure out how we can support each other.
Your thought is fabulous. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate your time and thank you for sharing with us and again for all you do.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.